Morning, everybody. Rusty from the Rusty Razor. Got another shave of the day, and today we're going to be doing Stirling's Sandpiper. Very interesting scent. Very pleasant. Has a grassy, kind of woodsy kind of note to it. Very nice. Pleasant. I think the Hoon Shavers, this is one of his favorite scents, I believe. Very nice. And when you lather it up, you get more of that grassy note with a slight wood in the background. Very nice. And today we're going to be using the King C Gillette with some Gillette Wilkinson blades, sword blades. Good stuff. Worked pretty good. Decided to go a little change up with it and just see. Normally I've been doing a lot of Astras, but I got these Wilkinson blades. So yeah, when you get 100 of them, yeah, you might as well throw them in the mix. You know, it's like I got 8. Well, I guess it's less than 800, maybe 725 blades left. I did pick up in the last. It's like Amazon had their little sale going on the Astra blades, and I picked up another couple hundred for what, $14. So yeah, it was worth adding a few more. That way you never know, you might run out in the next 3 years. So I typically started, since I've picked up more blades, I just go I was pushing them to 3 or 4. Now I'm just go 2. I figured since they're so cheap, I don't need to worry about pushing them too hard. And there's like some of these, like the Dorcos, I think one and done type of deal. Because that's about the performance of them. To me, they're horrible. So you use them once and throw them away. But I only paid like $4.50, not even $5 for the 100 of them. So yeah, it's not like I'm out a lot. And these Wilkinson blades do work pretty good. Even the okay, I got it. Where'd they go? Oh, the Permasharp. Permasharps are about, get 2 good uses out of them. When I ordered a bunch of blades for my dad, I ordered him some Permasharps. So sent him a couple hundred. Oh, he'd continue using his Fat Boy. Can't remember if it's a 50. I think it's a 59 Fat Boy. He's had it for quite a few years. Bought it new at the 5 and dime, he said. Yeah, same thing with me. It's like when we got my first razor, we went to, I think it was Ben Franklin. We went to the Ben Franklin store, and that's where we got my Schick razor back in '78. Hard to believe. It seems just like yesterday, man. Time flies. And go through the 70s and 80s and the 90s. Doing traditional shaving like this. To me, that was just normal shaving. I guess there was nothing traditional about it. you have everybody. It's like, I guess a lot of it surprises me that the number of people that are my age or in their 50s that never used DE razors at all. They went straight to carts or the disposables. What the heck? A little bug flying around here. Looks like a gnat or something. Like, where the heck did that come from? Must be wearing fur. But it is supposed to warm up. Well, it has warmed up again. It's spring. Get the yo-yo temperatures. They always say never plant anything in Iowa until about May 10th, or else you never know, because heck, it snowed in May here before. Get a couple inches, 3-4 inches. But now I see how people started shaving, and most of them, it's like seems that started shaving with the cartridge razors, those disposables. But then again, I guess they started shaving probably in the 80s and 90s, and that was pretty much what was available. I think it was about, what? Gillette, I think, quit producing DE razors, or putting them on the shelf, I think around 87 or 88. So, and they weren't prevalent, that's for sure. Now, I didn't start using disposable, I guess it's cartridge razors. Because when we were in, when I went through basic training, they made us buy those things, and that I used them for during. But when I was able to get back to using my regular razor, I did. Like when I was going through basic training. Now AIT was different, you know, it's like you're on your own kind of deal. I was. So do whatever you wanted. Yeah, that's knocking it down pretty good. It's a nice thing. I really like this Kinksy Gillette razor. If they had that, if that was the only razor that was available back in when I first started shaving, I would have still be using it. That's how much I like it. It does a good job. It's performance. You know, it's not overly aggressive, but I don't need an aggressive razor because my beard is pretty fine, and you know, not really. It's like a lot of guys, you know, they'll have like trying to shave off steel cable off their face. They need an aggressive razor that's and blades to do the job. I don't. I'm lucky. I got a nice soft beard. All right. And it's one of those days where just take time and relax. A lot of shaving. Hear that blade working good. Just curious, when did everybody start shaving? When was the first time you shaved? First time you started actually picked up for the very first time, picked up a razor and started taking off the beard. How old were you in what year? Me, it was 78, around Christmas time. I would just turn 14. Already getting I remember it had a little peach fuzzy stuff here, a little bit across the lip and a little bit of around the neck here. And Dad was like, starting to look a little unsightly. We're gonna get you a razor and you gotta start shaving. Like, okay. Suzuki? Sounds like a 600. So I used to work in the power sports industry, selling ATVs, motorcycles, and stuff like that. And we sold Suzukis and Triumphs and Kawasaki's. Always wanted to get a Triumph, you know. I always liked the sound of their triples, and it's like you can always tell like a Ducati or Yamaha. They all have a slightly different sound to them, and it was kind of fun. Was that working anytime you wanted to? It's like they had all the used ones, and the boss would like didn't have a problem with you. It's like, yeah, go ahead and take if you wanted to take one home and drive it for a day or two, show it off. Kind of fun. I always got to ride something different. We'd go on these fun runs where you get on your bike and you go, or a couple hundred people on their bikes would go someplace and you go to a restaurant or something and get on a borrowed bike and try something different. Somebody on, and usually the wife. Toss on the leathers and helmet and go. I need to get I got a 800, Suzuki 800. I need to take into the shop. Front brake is acting up. Oh, got that bump again. And hard part is getting it in. You gotta get a trailer. Well, if your front brake is acting up, you never know when it's gonna give up the ghost. You could be riding along, and all of a sudden you go hit the brakes and oh, nope, no brake. And most of your stopping power is in your front brake. The caliper. Rear brake, you still got the rear brake, but if you need to stop fast, front one does the job. Miss anywhere? How the heck is that? There we go. There we go. Ah, nice shave. Never forget to get behind the ears. Alrighty. Trying to figure out what to do with this one, so I'm going with Avon Wild Country. And I probably should do, not very often I need to use this thing. A little bit of stinging. Now, I got a couple, like right up on the upper lip is where you got the bumps, and then I also got the scar tissue across my lower lip. That's because of crashing and burning. Smells good. No, I don't feel any stinging on the lower area. Just right there on the lip. If you have never tried Wild Country, it's similar to Brute, but Brute is a little rougher around the edges, I'd say. This is nice and mild. It's a pleasant scent to me. I grew up with it. Between Old Spice and the Avon Wild Country, that was my go-tos for aftershave. All right, that was Sandpiper. Very pleasant scent, and that marries up pretty good with the Wild Country. And from Stirling, I got a little sampler. Sometime in the future, if I make another order for Stirling, I might get a full-size tub of that, and maybe even a splash. Never know. And this was the Kinksy Gillette with some Gillette Wilkinson sword blades, and they work pretty good. All right, hope everybody like it. Hit the old like button, and if you haven't subscribed by now, go ahead, do it.